wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Ana, an English teacher from Pangkalan Bun, Sentra Kalimantan, Indonesia. Here, I would like to summarize about the material in the 3 days webinar about using open source software for better students' engagement. This webinar is held by TIE UPS International, which cooperates with PDPU, Dinas Pendidikan Kalimantan Tengah, and many other institutions. On the first day, the material is about audio-visual content for teaching, which was presented by Mr. Sandes Mahjan. In the first session, the trainer shared about why it is important to make our own learning video and also the application that we can get from the internet freely in making it. Here, I also learned about tips and tricks in making learning videos, such as providing a good lighting when do the recording and also tools to help us in finishing our learning video. On the second day, the material is about MOOC, the 4-quadrant approach, which was presented by Mr. Pradeep Malik, PhD. In this session, the trainer talked about the concept of the MOOC, or Massive Open Online Course, and the 4-quadrant approach. How technology affects the learning process and the benefits of technology improvements in education are also presented in this session. The 4-quadrant approach consists of 1. Engagement time that includes videos which needs to be watched by the students. 2. Engagement time that consists of text material, e-book, lesson book, and any other sources that related to the material being discussed in the class. 3. References. It can be about the web links that give the students more references or more information related to the material. 4. Engagement time. It consists of assessment that can be in the form of exercises or quizzes, either long or short. On the third day of the webinar, the material is about organizing online quizzes and taking attendance. This material was presented by Ms. Dr. Najshin Nizami. In this session, the trainer introduced us to an application named Kahoot. This application can be used by the teachers as a tool to give assessments for the students in the form of quiz or something like that. On the last session of the third day webinar was presented by Mr. Dr. Harmik Vaishnav. It is about fun with teaching English. In this session, the trainer shows us how to engage students by interesting ways to learn English. The teachers can use any kinds of puzzles as an assessment tools for the students, so the learning process will not be bored. There are many kinds of puzzles that the teachers can choose based on their focus on their learning material, such as jumbled words in the learning tenses and missing words in learning vocabularies. There are also the talk about the use of Microsoft Teams delivered by Dr. Rishi Bandari in learning process and how to create animation in simple way by using a free application that we can access from the internet. How I am going to implement those learnings in my teaching. For about more than 6 months since the COVID-19 pandemic spread out to the whole world, it affects all aspects in our lives, including in education system. This pandemic avoids us from meeting each other face to face. Therefore, the school was closed, but the learning process still needs to be done due to its importance. That makes the teachers should find the best way to help the learning process safely and successfully. Distance education, or it is known as pembelajaran jarak jauh in Bahasa Indonesia, is the choice for this problem. The learning process is mostly held depends on the technology and internet connection. So, whether we realizing it or not, as the teachers, including me, we have implemented the whole learnings that have been discussed during the webinar in our learning process so far, though with different sources or application. I have to prepare the learning material well before the class begins, transfer or deliver it to the students and give them assessments after it. The whole learning activities in my classes is done through applications. Our school has developed a school website where we can conduct the learning process through the online class. I usually prepare the learning material by using Microsoft PowerPoint and record it with the explanation by using a screen recorder application. Then I upload it into our school web to the student, and finally they can access it, and after it I will give them assessment by using Google Form or applications such as quizzes. Joining these webinars allows me to enrich my knowledge about other sources that I can use during my online class to give more experiences to my students. In the future, though we are going back to our offline class, this kind of learning is still needed to be done because the world keeps growing and the technology is keep developing from day to day. Then we as humans who live in this era, we need to make sure that our education, either system or the content, keeps along with this development. That's all. Thank you.